The gaming community has the memory of a goldfish and the patience of a toddler. We see one bad review, one buggy launch trailer, or one cringe line of dialogue, and we write a game off forever. We label it trash, mid, or flop, and then go back to buying the same FIFA and Call of Duty every single year. But sometimes we are wrong. Sometimes a game gets buried under hate, bad marketing, or just bad timing, even though it's actually incredible. Today, I'm digging up 10 graves. These are 10 games that you probably skipped because the internet told you to, but you are missing out on some of the best experiences of the last decade. I have 124 subscribers. I have no reputation to protect, so I'm gonna tell you the truth. These games aren't underrated, they are masterpieces that you were too judgmental to play. Let's get into it. Let's start with the definition of wrong place, wrong time. Mad Max released on the exact same day as Metal Gear Solid 5. That is like releasing your indie mixtape on the same day Michael Jackson drops a new album. Nobody cared. The reviews called it repetitive. They said the wasteland was too empty. It's a game about the post-apocalyptic desert. It's supposed to be empty. If you actually play this game in 2026, it is visually stunning. The sandstorms are still the best weather effects I have ever seen in a video game. When that wall of dust hits you and lightning starts striking your car, it feels more next-gen than anything Ubisoft has released in 5 years. The car combat is heavy, metallic, and brutal. You feel every impact. And the hand-to-hand combat is basically Arkham Asylum, but crunchier. You aren't a superhero, you're a desperate survivor, snapping limbs to get a drop of water. It's repetitive, sure, but the loop is so satisfying you won't care. It's the best movie tie-in game ever made, and you ignored it. Oh, Unity, the meme that almost killed a franchise. We all remember the pictures, the missing faces, the floating eyeballs, the frame rate dropping to single digits on the PS4. But here is the reality check. Ubisoft patched the game, and now that we have hardware that can actually run it, Assassin's Creed Unity is objectively the best Assassin's Creed game, period. Look at the parkour. It has weight, momentum, and flair. You actually have to control your descent. Compare this to the newer RPG games where you just hold forward and climb a vertical cliff like Spider-Man. Unity required skill. And the graphics? Paris in Unity still looks better than Valhalla or Shadows. The baked lighting, the density of the crowds, thousands of NPCs on screen, and the interiors are insane. It was too ambitious for 2014 consoles, but on a modern PC, it is a graphical showcase. Stop making fun of the bugs from 10 years ago and play the best stealth sandbox in the series.
Monkey, 享受消息柔和嘅按摩，無論係泰式草藥，定係腳底按摩，或者頭部按摩，我 like Monkey。瞄準啊！殺啦！打齊佢！殺啦！同我喐佢！打齊佢！
It's just a GTA clone. It's GTA in China. If you said this, you are part of the problem. Sleeping Dogs is what GTA would be if the combat wasn't terrible. In GTA, shooting feels floaty and melee feels like slapping someone with a wet noodle. In Sleeping Dogs, you're an undercover cop who knows martial arts. You're breaking legs, throwing people into ice chippers, and leaping from car to car in slow motion. The story is actually gritty and emotional, unlike the satire-heavy plots of Rockstar games. You feel the conflict of Wei Shen trying to balance his duty as a cop with his loyalty to the triads. Plus, the driving physics are arcade perfection. It doesn't try to be a simulator, it tries to be an action movie. It's criminal that we never got a sequel. If you're bored waiting for GTA 6, play this. And eat a pork bun. A man who never eats a pork bun is never a whole man.
Thanks for the bridge, Rocket.
If you even think of pulling that
Wait,
stud again.
Hear that?
Guys,
I got it.
This game was murdered by the Avengers. Square Enix released that live service microtransaction-filled Avengers garbage and everyone hated it. So when they announced a Guardians of the Galaxy game a year later, we all assumed it would be the same trash. We assumed it would be a loot box fest. We were wrong. Guardians of the Galaxy is a tightly written, single-player narrative masterpiece with 0 microtransactions. It has more heart in one cutscene than the entire MCU has had in the last 5 years. The banter between the characters is dynamic and actually funny. The combat, while a bit chaotic, makes you feel like a leader commanding a squad. But the writing is the star here. It tackles grief, loss, and trauma in a way that hits harder than you expect from a game with a talking raccoon. It won Best Narrative for a reason. Don't let the stink of the Avengers game keep you away from this gem. The first Evil Within was okay. It was clunky, frustrating, and had those annoying black bars on the screen. So nobody played the sequel. And that is a tragedy because the Evil Within 2 is survival horror perfection. It took a massive risk. It went open world. Well, open zone. And somehow it worked. Exploring the town of Union is terrifying. You can scavenge for ammo, do side quests for ghosts, and get chased by a monster made of buzzsaws and camera lenses. The transition from linear horror hallways to open exploration gives you a false sense of safety before ripping it away. It fixed the stealth, it fixed the stamina, and the story is actually coherent this time. If you liked the Resident Evil remakes but wished they were a bit more trippy and psychologically darker, this is your game. It scares you to hell but gives you just enough freedom to think you can survive. Generic zombie biker game, Deacon St. John is boring, 6 out of 10. Days Gone had a rough launch. It was buggy, and the first 6 hours are admittedly very slow. Deacon mumbles to himself constantly like a crazy person. But once you upgrade your bike and face your first horde, the game changes. The horde technology is still unmatched. Seeing 500 freakers pour over a hill like a tidal wave of flesh is terrifying. You have to use traps, explosives, and terrain just to survive. It's stressful, it's intense, and no other zombie game does it this well. And honestly, the story lands. It's a slow burn, but by the end, you actually care about these biker trash characters. It's a 60-hour epic that got review bombed because reviewers didn't have the patience to get past the tutorial. Give it a chance. Remember when the PS4 launched? This was the game that showed us what next-gen particles looked like, and then everyone forgot about it. Infamous Second Son is still one of the best superhero simulators ever made. Delson Rowe might be a bit of a cringe hipster with his beanie and denim vest, but his powers are incredible. Neon, smoke, video, and concrete. Each one changes how you traverse Seattle. Running up a wall as a streak of neon light looks beautiful to this day. The combat is fast, fluid, and destructive. It's not a deep RPG, it's not a 100-hour epic. It's a tight 15-hour playground where you get to be a god. Sony seems to have abandoned this franchise for Spider-Man, and that sucks, because sometimes you don't want to save the city, you want to orbital drop onto it and blow it up. This game got hate for two reasons. It was an Xbox exclusive at first, and it had fixed camera angles. Zoomers couldn't handle tank controls and called it boring. The medium is a love letter to Silent Hill. The gimmick is the dual reality system. The screen splits, and you play in the real world and the spirit world at the same time. It sounds like a gimmick, but it's actually a brilliant puzzle mechanic. It's not an action game. You're not shooting zombies. You're solving mysteries and running from a monster you cannot kill. The atmosphere is thick, the music is by Akira Yamaoka, the Silent Hill guy, and the story is dark, like really dark. It's a walking simulator, sure, but it's a walking simulator that will give you nightmares. If you want horror that gets under your skin rather than just jump scaring you, play this.
Respectable family would help me out if I went to them. Man, I can see the headlines now.
Leave them out of this bitch!
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on.
I can hear you typing already. That game is cringe. Hella cringe. Yes, the dialogue is trying way too hard to sound like cool teenagers from 2013. Yes, they say hella too much. Get over it. Life is Strange is one of the most effective narrative games ever made. The time rewind mechanic isn't just a puzzle tool, it's a tool for anxiety. You make a choice, see the bad outcome, rewind, make the other choice, and realize that one is bad too. It paralyzes you with indecision. The atmosphere, the indie folk soundtrack, and the mystery of Arcadia Bay pull you in. By the end of episode 5, you're not thinking about the cringe dialogue. You're staring at your screen, traumatized, trying to make an impossible choice. It's an emotional gut punch that deserves respect, even if the slang hasn't aged well.
Apocalypse. I hate to tell you, but you picked the wrong time to come to town. Bet you thought your world was in chaos, didn't ya? Try this on for size. Bitten, infected, somewhere.
And finally, the king of development hell, Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 was announced in 2014. It disappeared, it changed studios 3 times. We all thought it was vaporware or that it would be an unplayable disaster like Duke Nukem Forever. And then it came out in 2023 and it was genuinely great. It didn't try to be an open-world RPG with a deep story. It just focused on one thing: violence. The flesh system is the most detailed gore technology in gaming history. You hit a zombie with a sledgehammer and the jaw breaks realistically. You use acid and the skin melts. It's mindless, gratuitous arcade fun. It runs perfectly, it looks beautiful in a gross way, and it doesn't take itself seriously. It's a dumb game for smart people who just want to turn their brain off and smash things. We expected a Dead on 2 disaster, and we got an 8 on 10 banger. So, there you have it. 10 games that the internet told you to hate, but are actually better than most of the AAA slop releasing today. If you've played any of these and agree with me, let me know. If you think I'm an idiot for defending Life is Strange, tell me in the comments. I read them all because, again, I only have 124 subscribers. Help me prove the algorithm wrong. Subscribe, like the video, and go play Mad Max before the dust storm hits. See ya!